when God's directing us to do something and we start going through that thing, whatever it is, if we're not on the other side of it, it's easy to really think in your flesh to go back because what you're most comfortable with. And not even that, it can seem like it's a better thing because you haven't reached the other side to the best thing. Always, if he's taking us to something different and we know that he orchestrated it and we didn't orchestrate it ourselves, then it has to be the best thing on the other side. We could have left something that was a good thing, but if he's moving you towards something else, then you're moving towards something better. God's not going to take us from better to worse or from better back to good. He doesn't do that. We do that, and the enemy can do it. We can allow the enemy to do it, or we can partner with the enemy in him trying to do it, because he never wants us to get to our best ever. He always wants us to either stay in our worst, or he might even, let's let him ride out to good. I think that the enemy probably wouldn't really push you if you got to good. If you went from worst to good, he probably wouldn't. It's no big deal, because you can be comfortable in good, and the enemy can still really use you. But when you get to best and better, because you've seen something different, you don't give him that play. It's like, But from worst to good, it's almost like you're in the same space, because good is only a step up from the worst thing that you had. And it's like, yeah, okay. But, the enemy can still work in that. But when you really get up to them high levels of best, you don't have time for that anymore. It's like, who are you? I don't even, wait, who are you talking to? I don't know you. You just don't. When you're going in the route that you're going to best, never ever stop at good, at least get to better. When you get to better, it's easier for you to get to best. But if you're from worst to good and you stop at good, that's just comfortable. When you're at good, you hope for better, but you're comfortable in good. And it's like, you have to work to get to better. So when you come from worst to good, I think it's easy for God to take us from worst to good, because he does the work for us. From worst to good, it's easy. I'll help you get to good. God will bring you out of things. But sometimes when you get to good, you got to work to get to better, because getting to better requires effort on your part. And then from best to better, you got to work, but the thought process has changed. When we first get saved, God did things and it seemed so easy. It's like, oh, I'll open the Bible and just point to a scripture and it'll relate to me. That's coming from worst to good. It's like, it's so easy. It's like, oh, wow. And then when you go to church, you get that message. That message is so easy, because it's like, you've never had anything, you've been starving. And so it's like, oh, so you went from worse to good. But when you get in good and you're comfortable in good, after a while it's almost like a plateau. It's like, oh, it doesn't seem as exciting anymore. It doesn't seem so woo, because now you have to do the work. You've arrived at good, and to get to better, you have to do the work. The Lord is like, I got you from worse to good, and it was all exciting and everything. It's like that new relationship. Now everything's settled. Now you have to work from good to get to better. That's where you have to start really digging in to get to better. And then when you get to better, it's like you really have something to look forward to, but you still got to work. But at better, you know how to work. It's a little bit easier, because from good to better, it's like the crust of it all. You got to really dig in and learn some things and put forth your effort. But once you get to better, it's like, okay, I've arrived at better. Man, this feels much better than worse and good. I just need to get to best. And then what's after best? I think great. Excellence. I think there might be another level there.